today our judges will be Dr. Ahmad. He's the Director of Compliance at the Central Bank of Bahrain. Yasmin Sharaf, she's the Head of FinTech Innovation Unit at the Central Bank of Bahrain. And Abdulaziz Aljar, he's leading the information technology at the Central Bank of Bahrain. In addition to Nabil Juma, who's related to or leading the regulatory policies at Central Bank of Bahrain too. Okay, Melissa.
Thank you so much, Hisham, for the introduction. Without further ado, we're going to start with our first startup to pitch for the CBB RegTech Challenge. I would like to invite Sesu from InnoSoft, please, to go ahead and share his screen and start his pitch. You only have 5 minutes. I will interrupt you after that. So the count will start whenever I say so. So go ahead, Sesu, please prepare yourself.
Okay. Just give me a minute. Let me go and share the screen.
Okay. Yes, of course.
Can you all see the screen, please?
Yes, we can. And you can start now.
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and salam alaikum. Many thanks for providing this opportunity in InnoSoft to present the CBB block-unblock process in this challenge. I go straight into the presentation. The problem statement, I think it's well articulated in the RegTech site, so I don't need to spend time on it. I'll go into the solution directly if you allow me. We saw the solution in 3 parts. One is getting the file from the CBB side. 2, taking action on that file on the respective bank side. 3rd, after the action is taken, we get back the update back into CBB. There are 3 distinct phases we saw, and we went through the process. I'm not doing the full workflow here because we've done a complete stage-by-stage, item-by-item validation process as a POC in one of the leading banks in Bahrain, and we successfully completed within 35 man days from start. So I'm going to give a gist of what we did. As a first part of the workflow, the bot will automatically sign into the CBB site, download the respective file, and create a file for update into the core banking system. Then the file is taken and is validated in the core bank system in terms of the CR or CPR, account availability, multiple accounts, balances available, either lien for the bank or whatever it is. So as per the bank's respective rules and regulations and the CBB guidelines, the action is to perform based on block or unblock or overblock or even information, whatever it is. And once it's done, the file is updated back, and then updated file, the bot logs in and then updates back into CBB site. This is the overall the process I just put in a nutshell because of the time constraints. We can go through later if you want. And then how flexible is the solution? I mean, the solution architecture is so flexible that you can either have the entire thing, the bot and the server, everything on premises of the institution so that you can have complete control of that. Or if they want to do on a hybrid basis, the bot can sit on the premises of the bank and the server can be in the cloud. And the third option is the entire thing on the cloud because the volumes are low, they want to have a cost-effective solution. They can have a pay-by-use basis. They can use the cloud solution. So it's completely flexible the way we want to tailor that. And then what is unique about this solution? See, if we look at it, the bot starts automatically based on any trigger. It could be a predetermined time or an interval or an email or any other trigger you set up. And it starts working automatically 24/7. And it comes to the predefined user dashboards as well as user-definable unlimited dashboards. Deployment is very easy because the platform comes with 500 plus connected to various applications very easily can be played. We've got a parallel processing concept, and we've got something unique called a bot store. Any standard process can be stored in the bot store and downloaded to the bank without need for reinventing the wheel as a plug and play. And also, it's very cost effective because the bot comes with the complete orchestration platform, and it's got also the process studio, developer studio. It's got a DR license comes along with that. So it's the most cost effective, and the bank can manage by using the developer studio. Finally, as a solution, we got 700 plus processes already done under this platform in a BFSI segment, and it's supported today this particular solution with 100+ man years of banking technology experience. Is it innovative? Yes. I told you the bot has got diversity. It could be a standard or automated or a turbo bot, depending on the requirement of the bank, and do parallel processing or any other job can be also taken. Also got a AI-based chatbot, which also is available on the platform. We don't call it RPA, we call hyper automation because the ready-made the processing power, multi-threaded processing, and the connectors, and supports the low-code platform as well as certified by leading ITSM tools. Finally, it can be seamlessly integrated at multiple layer with the channels, the workflows, and even business applications. And then, is it functional? Yes, it's 100% automated, it's real-time, it's efficient, and as we did in the POC, is fully compliant with the CBB Compliance Directorate circulars, the guidelines of 23rd December and the 3rd February as well. Is it scalable? Absolutely, yes. Vertically and horizontally. Example is, we have deployed 250 bots on one single customer site live, and also is tested with 1,000+ bots vertically. Horizontally, it integrates with any channel applications. It works with multiple databases, be it Postgres or Oracle or anything. It can also work in multiple languages. It works on multiple cloud bases, and it integrates with digital and ITSM tools. Technology is absolutely robust because I told you, it's not an RPA, it's beyond RPA, and it's got an industry standard bot store. It comes with the AI piece of it, and it can be used as a platform, as a service, as such. And again, the data integration power, you can have a 10x to 100x plus power of computing because it's got parallel, it can work with multiple files at the same time without the user even intervening that. Is it with this technology fit, with the functional fit, with the scalability? We call this solution sustainable because it's absolutely scalable, it's portable, it's trackable, it's integrable, it's flexible, and come to security, it's got a 256-bit AES TLS 1.2 encryption on the store, as well as in transit, it's got a 28-bit AES 1.4 TLS 1.2.
Sorry, Sethu, I have to interrupt you because your time is up. So
yeah, I got one more slide.
Well, I can do that. Apologies. Maybe it will be asked within the questions. Okay,
that's the last slide I have.
Okay, I will leave. Okay, leave it on. We will leave the floor for
I just say 1 minute
now.
because it's got 21 institutions. We have 2 institutions in Bahrain. We got this. It's 5 million transactions in one platform, and they got 850 bots and 700 processes done. That's it. I rest my case. Thanks a lot for your opportunity, and I thank CBB team and the FinTech Galaxy team and the participant and to InnoSoft team. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Sethu. Judges, the floor is yours.
Assalamu alaikum. Just regarding, the solution, as you mentioned, it is like 24/7 and it is real time. Did the system will work during the weekends, during the night? What is the feature for that?
Absolutely, 24/7, 7 days a week.
Sorry?
It is 24/7, 7 days a week. It works completely.
And how efficient it is? How to measure the efficiency? How to measure the efficiency?
Efficiency is still because, see, one thing is...
did you examine such what we call system before in other countries, in other financial institutions?
Yeah, we have a client in Bahrain, which is the biggest bank. We got an insurance client in Bahrain. Also, we got almost 21 financial institutions in India and outside India working on that. I told you there are 5 million loan applications processed 24/7 loan in a bank.
But it is totally different. Loan application is different than looking. We are looking for something like number 1, it is accuracy. Number 2, it is like speedy, efficiently.
What we do is it is reliable in the sense that we also give you first, for the banks to gain confidence about the data being submitted to the central bank, we also provide a make-a-checker concept initially if they want to check it up. And once in a day, someone they're comfortable with, they can turn off the make-a-checker. Bot will check automatically. That also is provided for the accuracy and the consistency purposes. Bot works 24/7 because uninterrupted. You can work even at night if you send an email, you start working on it. So that will possible for the bank to gain comfort. we have got multi-layer of check and balances. The bank can either set it up or turn it off. It's at the bank's instance. You don't need to come back to us for that.
Okay, thank you.
I have a quick question, Sethu. My first question is, what will be the method of integration with the CBB's BUB system? Because I know you mentioned on one of the slides, there's an option of an API, of screen scraping. I didn't quite understand that part.
No.
Does that pertain to the integration with the CBB system?
No, yeah, see, it's an RPA tool. It works screen scraping is one rudimentary method. It works like, you can download the file, either an Excel format or a PDF format, and it can do in the OCR. It just log in automatically, download the file. The file is readable in Excel, any format you want that you can integrate. That's why I said there are 500 connectors readily available to any format that you want to use. So we'll use the connectors and take the file, clear the file, and then use, if there's an API available to the core bank system, we'll use the API. Or we have to work around on a batch of whatever the basis the local bank wants to do it, we'll update, and then action taken will be coming back to the same file for the bank to review before they submit. Okay, once they have a confidence of doing it, then they can do it even that automatically. That's at the discretion of the bank. Okay, and they also built in a lot of check-ins, like multiple accounts having multiple currencies, multiple constitution accounts. All those things can be parameterized. We have done that in the POC, where the bank decides what to do in a case. Like there could be a lien on the account where there's a loan. How to do that? All those parameters are built into the system. Okay, so that side is parameterizable and API driven. The first side is ready-made. Once we get the download file from the CBB site and upload, that port is constant. So that can be what I call a bot store. You can store in a bot store, you come back. Only the interface to the CBB needs to be tailored.
I have one more question. You're mentioning connectivity with banks. Have you tested, or do you think your solution will work on other kind of licenses? So we talk about insurance and investment firms, because blocking involves all different kinds of licenses, not only banks.
Okay, we have a major customer in Bahrain today. I can name this for a very confidential basis. Al United Bank is using our system, and we've done the pen test, everything on the system. One. Second is another major is a POC is done, again confidentially. BBK is the one. And we also signed up with a major insurance is started working. So it works with insurance, it works with banking, and it works particularly with this process, and a POC is completed already. We are going to probably go live in probably a couple of weeks' time.
Okay. And one more question, which is you mentioned scalable, and you also mentioned briefly about you can use other use cases. So can you give examples of what other use cases have you done in financial institutions?
See, in a financial institution, we have done use cases of, for example, right from a payment system. Basically, when the payment system, right from the invoice comes in, goes to the department, gets approved, select within the budget, and goes to final approval, and even triggers a payment directly to the vendor. That's one side. Other ones, we done reconciliation of multiple currencies. In a place like an insurance company, we've done a medical reconciliation, a bank reconciliation, and a claim reconciliation. And there are about, I said, there's 700 use cases in a different type, including loan processing, insurance validation, and IT. In IT, there are 20,000 tickets being done on a monthly basis for IT service resolution. So it ranges from a simple banking application to a complex ITSM solution. In fact, we are contemplating at the complete end of day of a particular institution, done automatically, start from the bot and end by the morning, that sort of stuff. So you got a full range of solutions. We can send you a list if you want.
Yeah, thank you.
I have one question. In the beginning of your slide, you just mentioned that you already have tested your solution with one of the major banks here in Bahrain, right?
Yeah.
Do you measure how efficient is your solution comparing to the current manual?
No, see, we have done the POC in start to finish in 35 man days, and it process a record as we have in less than 30 to 40 seconds. Okay.
For each
that
case.
also depends on the availability of the site, internet, all the stuff. So on a live, I say if 300 records can be done, probably it should take about 5 to 6, 7 minutes, and they can do in multiple intervals also, anytime.
Thank you so much. Any more questions from the judges? All good?
One
Thank you
last
so
question
much.
from my end. The data is going to be encrypted, and if so, will it be encrypted? And if so, who's going to be holding the encryption keys?
No, the platform comes with the encryption algorithm, which provides you in storage about a total 256-bit encryption with an AES standard of AES standards. And when it's in transit, is a 128-bit encryption with the TLS 1.2 standards that comes with the platform. In addition to that, if it's on-prem, the bank's network security also will take into account. We're going to host in the cloud security will take. The platform comes with its own security. Okay. In addition to that, whatever security you can put is on top of that. I mean, did I answer your question?
You're good, Yasmin? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Setu, for your time. I would like now to invite our second startup.
Thanks a lot for you.
Okay, thank you. I would like now to invite our second startup to prepare themselves. In the meantime, judges, you can now put on your scores. And please allow me now to introduce Rajiv from 10XDS. Rajiv, please go ahead and start sharing your screen in the meantime.
Share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can. And you can start. Let me just reset the clock. You can start now.
Thank you. So before just going to the solution, just want to introduce myself and my company. My name is Rajiv Ravindranath. I'm a principal consultant. And 10XDS is a new age digital transformation company focused on automation, analytics, AI, and cybersecurity. So this is what we do for the customers. So what's the problem which we are trying to address now? Since CBP issued the letter to adhere with the strengthened SLAs, the banking customers has got trouble to adhere with SLAs. So that's one. Second one, their experience is diluted. Third, increased cost. They have to add multiple people into the team to address this again with the errors and delays and all. And due to the traditional approach, there is a touch point with people, process, technology, and that makes the process very complex. So who are impacted? Of course, the regulators has a pressure from the bank that they are not meeting the SLAs. Because of that, central bank cannot give it back to the Ministry of Justice. The major financial institutions who has got to comply with SLA, smaller ones as well. We are considering the investment banking customers and all who are also impacted. Then other customers, the bank's customers who are basically, the time to unblock and all is affecting them. So there's a macro segment and micro segment is impacted in this problem. So what's our solution? Our solution is platform independent. So the automation platforms which we are working with, we build the solution is with UiPath, Blue Prism, Automation Anywhere, and Microsoft. And these are the major ones in the market if you look at the Gartner or Forrester's quadrant. And majority of the banks has got any of these solutions available. The Microsoft is specific because now they are offering it as an IaaS automation platform. So especially the investment banks and all who has small setup who came to us and said, no, we don't want to invest on a heavy platform. We don't have that much of process candidate to automate. Microsoft is right solution. They are on M365 and it's just a matter of adding some licenses. So we are completely platform independent. We are incompatible with all this core banking systems, and whether it is a API exposed, whether it is a automation using web or some of the banks do not want us to touch on the core, so we use the middleware for that. So all these are compatible with, and it's a enterprise to enterprise business rule platform. It has got inquiry, blocking, inheritance, unblocking, overblocking logic embedded. And even when we started deploying it a year back, our customers has got around 72% success rate, and other 28% is required to handle it manually. But over 30 to 45 days time, we managed to build that, hold the rules, and making sure that 100% automated without any exceptions. So that's even, we are handling the complex logic other than what mentioned here. For example, a customer has got 2 accounts with multi-currency. The platform has got the rules to address that as well. Now, coming back to the security and scalability, it's a matter of adding licenses to scalable in the sense, tomorrow CBB is issuing 2,000 requests a day. They can just need to increase 1 license or 2 licenses. And it has got a complete audit trail. You can see the analytics of it, meaning how many blocked, how many unblocked, what is inheritance. So all these things are there, and what is the stage it is. For example, at 11 o'clock, have we processed this many requests, and will it be possible to complete within the day? So this is something that is available and works 24/7. On top of that, since we touched upon cloud platform also, it is in compliance with CBB's cloud regulations or whatever the rule book says. It's compliance with PCI DSS and data security standards like PDPL, GDPR, etc. So I'm going to solution walkthrough. I'm just telling you what is exactly happening. So first, the solution will download the request. Then it will identify the business scenario. The 5 of them are mentioned. Then it goes to CBS core banking system, either through an API or through a web interface or through middleware, and then posting the response to CBB site after the operations, and then internal reporting, which is analytics solution, which we talked about. I have a quick video, 40-second video. I'll just play it. It is actually, this is completely automated. There is no manual intervention. And this says, and it is using API. It is interacting with the core banking system. So you may not say the core banking system screens, but other operations are here. It's all completely automated and scheduled. Total time taking here is 1/10 of actually a person does this. So here the technology is relevant. We are technology independent. So whatever solution the bank has got.
Sorry, Rajiv, but I have to interrupt you. Sorry, your 5 minutes are up. Thank you so much. I'll leave the floor for the judges. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. Okay, did you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, just a question about that your solutions. It is like working 24/7. What about like real time during the weekend? And you mentioned about inheritance. How you are going to like implement the order regarding this issue?
So currently we have implemented it in multiple banks in Bahrain and in some banks in Saudi for the Samanet process.
Which bank in Bahrain?
Unfortunately, I can give it to you later because we have a strict NDA with them.
How many banks?
A couple of them are currently in production, and 2 are. It's actually we are doing it for a couple of them too. They signed the contract. We are doing it.
Okay, it is like retail banks, wholesale banks.
Retail banks, Islamic retail.
Okay, okay. And how many years you are dealing with them, or like working with them?
In this technology stacks, all these banks which we are connected now, are around 6 of them. We are working closely from 2016 onwards on multiple projects. This one is in production last year for the first bank, and that's where I told we started with 72% success rate, 28% still exceptions, and over a period of time we managed to have all the reach out to the 100% success rate based on the rules reset and all.
And the system is working?
Yes, It's in production.
Is there any challenges?
Currently, no challenges, no manual intervention. It's all scheduled. So every day, earlier it was like, there's a maker checker. Now the bank is avoided maker checker also. So every day it's scheduled at, I think, 9 o'clock in the morning and then 12 in the afternoon. So the solution will go and check the CBB site whether anything is published. But now it's going to be 24/7. So every interval it will go and check.
Okay. Okay. Thank you from my side.
Anyone else from the judges? Abdulaziz, Yasmin, Nabil, all good?
I just
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just would like to ask about how the deployment for that solution will be done. Is it only on a prem, or do you have it in a cloud, or?
So it's completely platform independent. So some of the clients has got some of the platforms here we mentioned, and we have got solution in all these platforms. So whether somebody's want to have a cloud which is on Microsoft, especially the non-retail segment, investment bank, they're actually not ready to invest on a solution as such because they don't want to spend high amount. So Microsoft solution is kind of we are talking about a few $100s. Will pay as you go, and then our solution will fit on top of that. It's just a plug and then do some configuration. That's all. So it can be cloud, it can be on-prem, it can be both. So it's all how you want. What the security standard you follow. Most of the banks are now open for cloud as well. So pretty much it's flexible, and which solution you choose, because most of the banks are already choosing their automation platform. We don't want to limit themselves or reinvest on the other platform. So whatever they invested currently on the technology, this works and they seamlessly integrate with any of the core banking as well.
So just to follow up on Abdulaziz's question, so what we understand is that it's going to be technology agnostic in the sense that the RPA solution can differ from bank to bank depending on the bank's preference?
Absolutely. So if they invested on any of these platforms, we already developed this. So the banks which we are talking about, the 4 banks, each one of them, or say 3 of them, are using 3 different platforms. So we already developed for them, and the solution is available. And this is like basically CBB part, it's already done. The CBB site is not going to change. It's the same thing. The other core banking part, whether they are using API, are they using middleware, or are they want a screen-wise automation? It's only that area where we have some configuration required. So you're talking about days and weeks, not months, for the complete full production implementation.
Yes, I had a question on that. You said you have already in production this solution, so I wanted to know the efficiency of that. So how fast is it compared to?
If we have an analytics dashboard for that, which shows how it is handled. So when we compare it 1/10 of the manually processing time which the bot takes. So that's 1/10, and accuracy, as I said, when I started, it's 32%. I'm sorry, 72%. Other 28% always comes as exception because of the CR numbers are not properly good, or there are multiple accounts with the bank, or multiple scenarios which are not really listed in the 5 scenarios which is there. So we actually managed to capture all these business scenarios and then do the reconfiguration or add the rules into the engine, and finally we got completely automated.
Okay.
So currently, if you ask me, it's at 99.9% automation. Some days we used to get some kind of a request like the CR number comes with a dash or a slash or something like that. So only those are the current exception, which is small in number.
Okay. The second one is about encryption and security part. So what have you done for the data security?
So we are not storing any data in our solution. It's all with the bank itself, bank system itself. And only the credentials are stored in our solutions. So, and if you look at the solutions which we got here, it's something that tested, proven, like banks like Merrill and Lloyd and all earlier. So all these are tier 1 solutions, and which has got a complete security coverage here. And then if the bank don't want to store the credential here, again we have an option to integrate with their identity and access management solution. So major identity and access management solutions are supported by this platform. So platform is not at all storing any data, and it's all depends on the bank. Bank don't want to store the data, bank don't want to store the credentials, all will be on their control.
Okay. And in terms of other use cases, so when you say, is the solution scalable? Can it involve other use cases as well?
Absolutely. So we have done other use cases. So some of the compliance reports we are getting now, like statistical report, reservation reports, and all, which you are getting from some of the banks are completely automated. So the reports are coming, and PRI is something that we are trying to automate now, which is very complex. And IFRS 9 reporting, again, all these are candidates which we are currently engaged with.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have an office here in Bahrain?
Yes, so headquarters in Bahrain.
Number of staff here in Bahrain?
We got currently around 9 people in Bahrain.
Okay, and you said that you have served some of these banks here in Bahrain. Are they subject to some of these penalties which imposed by the central bank regarding non-compliance or delays? Do you have any idea about it?
Can you come again, please?
Any what we call financial penalties. You are dealing with some banks here in Bahrain, okay?
Yes, yes.
We issue some like a warning and financial penalties, some of these banks. So are the banks you serve are subject to such penalties?
Yes.
Okay. And did you fix it?
We are fixing it. Say some of the things which are recently coming up with is a BCTS, which is the biggest headache for every bank because the auto approval thing. So BCTS is something that we are helping them. The other part is, the check defaulters.
So what is the main problem with the banks you deal with?
Because the manager.
Or the common one.
So the manager has to approve every check by 1 o'clock in the cutoff period. If not, it's auto approved, right? So
it is not clear. I cannot hear you.
So the manager has to approve all the checks by 1 o'clock, the cutoff time, right?
Okay.
So mostly they are engaged and they do it at 12:45 or 12:55. And by that time, they couldn't get the time to validate hold the check.
Okay.
That's one. And then check defaulters reporting, which again, which I think recently introduced. So that also they feel like it's better to have it automated.
And all of these banks you serve are, the system is subject to human intervention or just like an.
Initially it's a maker checker, and once the bank got the confidence, it's completely automated. There is no human intervention. It's all scheduled.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So we have implementation in Saudi as well, same banking clients.
Sorry?
We have implementation related to SAMA in Saudi as well.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rajiv, for your time. I'll give some time. I'll give some time for the judges to compile their scores. For now, I would like to introduce our third startup or fintech to be pitching, Aeon Digital. I would like to invite on Hassan. Please, can you share your screen and start preparing yourself? I can't hear you on.
Hello everyone.
Yes, now I can hear you. Good, yes.
Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, please let me know when you can see my screen.
Not yet.
Can you see my screen now?
Not yet on. Yes, now it's loading, yes. And you can start. Let me just reset the clock. You can start now.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. What I'm going to do is share with you the process that we have done to actually accomplish this task that is given to us. So as you have seen, our company profile and our clients, we specialize in digital banking. And our goal is to bring the banks to a digital space without changing their legacy systems. And Rubix is designed specifically to cater for situations where different integrations are required for specific use cases that you actually need to do. So to accomplish this, we have utilized the latest technology across the globe, which is now being used in the likes of Revolut Bank, Netflix, and Uber. Using this technology is not alone, right? So the question is, how does this technology help with the solution? Firstly, it is the ease of integration. It is future-proof, which means that it is portable. So it is very easy to deploy to banks. It is end-to-end digital, which means that the digitization goes all the way to the bank operations and in the front end as well. And from the central bank, the file upload, everything is automated and digital. We are always looking at innovative solutions, which is why we're always bringing in technology to actually bring in the innovation. We keep the dynamic workflows within the bank. So each bank can have its own version of their workflow. So if there's anything that is changing, if there's anything that they need, they can actually change that directly. We have robotics integrated for file uploads and anything, but robotics is not every solution, right? So we need to make sure that the digitization is coming from the APIs and at every level. And robotics is mainly used for our mundane tasks, which are basically file uploads and when the users are not available. And finally, the security of the solution, where it is paramount for us that we take all the steps to make sure the aspects of security are in place for the customers. And using this technology, we are using near zero coding, which means that our solution does not require us to change anything in the code itself. The customers can automatically do that themselves whenever they are updating anything. So I'll just go into the solution that what actually we did. So all of this technology that you see here fits and gets wrapped into a container, which is it's a very simple deployment to all the banks. So all the banks will have this deployment in place. It will be running inside the bank premises or in cloud if they require. We have designed the solution to provide the banks with timely updates of this block and unblock customer requests coming from the central bank. So running the system is simple, but changes are also important. And we understand that requirements can be changing. So what we have done is from central bank side, we are going to manage the standard file format. We have a complete continuous deployment process to all the banks where banks do not have to worry about what is the format changes that are coming from the central bank, because there can be changes, there can be new use cases coming in. And the bank mapping is done for each bank separately, which stays within the bank and they're linked to their core systems and any other systems that are there. So what we do is whenever there's a file format, anything that is changing, we deploy automatically to all the banks. They all get updated at the same time. So the banks do not have to worry about updation or anything, any processes that are coming from there. The integrations and workflows also will be kept on premise. So which means that once we have integrated into the bank's core systems, or the banks have done that on their side, any changes that are coming in will be automatically mapped to the new requirements. We also cover, and this will also require no need for their IT to do it. So they can do it themselves. The business users can actually do that themselves. We also cover both retail and corporate customers, including corporate shareholders, signatory blocking. So if there's any shareholders who are there which needs to be blocked, we can actually locate them, find them in corporate customers, and actually update the company if it is blocked or unblocked. And this can all be done through these workflows that we create. Also for scalability, we have covered scalability in two ways. One is basically performance scalability, which is automatic. The nodes that we are running, because it is all the technology is using Kubernetes, it actually is automatically creating nodes during peak performance and decreasing the nodes based on user requirements. So the bank does not have to worry about giving additional resources or anything. It is all handled within the, I would say, box itself. So it is all within the box. Secondly, the scalability is in terms of the solution comes from the open solution and new features that can be added. So any new additional features that are coming in, like GCC nationals are now also allowed to open banks over here. So how's that blocking going to come in? So it's not just a file upload. You might need to connect to other providers as well, which if you require a robotic solution for it, the problem is that you'll have to change it in each bank for new requirements that are coming in. The important feature for us is that that is not required from our side. We do the format change. The mapping of the bank integrations are already done in place. So any new requirements coming in, it is a seamless integration. We do the testing, we deploy it to the banks, and it is automatically working. So in overall, the solution will provide them with ease of connectivity for each of the banks. Minimum.
Sorry, An, I have to interrupt you. Apologies.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the time. And
Thank you. Let's leave the floor for the questions. Judges, the floor is yours.
Did you serve some of the banks here in Bahrain?
Yes, absolutely. So we have our KFH Bahrain as our customer, which we do the full Jazeel banking solution in place, which is a fully digital front end and a digital experience for the customers.
What other banks? Only KFH?
So we have other banks in Kuwait as well, in Dubai as well, and we are doing corporate banking as well for them as well. Corporate
okay,
banking.
so regarding KFH, you are doing just issues related to KYC and so on, or it is included also blocking?
Everything, the full digital experience. So which means
I mean,
that
including like blocking, unblock, and so on.
So no, so we don't do blocking, unblocking for them from central bank. That is not our role right now. But we are doing other things like credit card blocking. So we are doing the KYC, the AML process updates, which is the.
No, this one is different. It's different issues. You know, blocking is different than KYC and so on.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and specifically in the blocking, where do you have experience on such what we call services?
So specifically for blocking of accounts, we are doing it based on dormant accounts. So we have experience within the bank itself to actually block accounts or unblock accounts based on their account activity itself.
Where?
Not from an outside provider, no.
Okay. And what about, like solutions regarding, like implementing these, like orders 24/7 during the weekends and so on? What is your solutions?
Yeah, so solution basically is running 24/7 in weekends, everything. So the automation part is the file upload, which we will be doing completely.
Do you have any idea about the size? How many like a blocking order received per day?
So that is the best part. Our solution does not actually matter what is the size, because the solution automatically increases or decreases the size based on the load. So it doesn't matter. It will automatically detect the performance is coming to a peak, and it will automatically trigger more nodes to actually cater for that. So it is completely automatic. No IT department has to look at that. If extra load is coming in, they need to provide it.
What about, like human intervention?
So we have a full workflow management for exception handling. So if the file upload is not working, or if anything is not working, there's a full manager process and a dynamic process which each bank can change for themselves. So they can add multiple levels of managers, they can add multiple levels of signatories within that to cater for exceptions. And if there's an exception, they can approve it directly there, and it can submit it. Like if the ID is not matching, you could not find a customer or anything that is going on, they can update it manually.
Okay, thank you so much.
I have a few questions from my end. The first question is, what is the mechanism that you're going to be using to validate the individual customers as well as the corporate customers, those that there are like order requests against? So like the validation process, that's my first question. My second question is, where will the solution be sitting or hosted? Is it going to be on the cloud, or is it going to be on-premise within the financial institutions ends? My third question is with regards to the disaster recovery, system availability when there is like a disaster or an interruption. What backup mechanisms do you have in place there?
Yeah, so the solution is completely, so it can be on cloud as well based on the bank's requirements. So we deploy it as a container. So the container can be deployed within the bank itself. We do the deployments through cloud. So our deployment process is through cloud, which means that it deploys automatically through cloud, but the actual data and the actual system is sitting within the bank's premise itself. So banks do not have to worry about updating it. We are updating it, but it can be sitting in their premises, and that is where the security also comes in place. Everything comes in place from there. Sorry, what was your first question? I forgot that.
So my first question was with regards to the mechanism that you're going to be using to validate the customers.
Yes, absolutely. So what we are doing right now is that our validations go across the different levels of details that are coming in. So even for eKYC or anything like that, we are checking CPRs. We also are validating GCC nationals as well. So we know the formats of different types of IDs that can come in, and we validate it with the systems or within the bank itself. So we have API integrations within the bank to validate all the information that is coming in from the central bank.
My final question with regards to the system availability in this, disaster recovery. And I have another question also with regards to security and encryption.
Yeah, so the system availability is based on each bank itself. Again, banks will actually provide their infrastructure or DR systems to actually run this process in. So they will have their own DR process. So we actually fit into their DR process. It's not that we need to include, but as soon as their deployment fails, they can pull our deployments directly from there. And because it's a bank-specific update, they will get the update straight away. So the disaster recovery is completely seamless from our side. And from the security and encryption point of view, we take that very seriously. All our processes which are on-premise are secured. And we also look at the requirements for customers' data as well. So customer data is all encrypted in transit and also on record as well. So whenever we are storing information in the banks, we are storing the customer information as encrypted as well. And we have the encryption keys also sit with the bank itself. So they know that what are the encryption keys. Even we do not know what is the encryption keys for decrypting these IDs, but they never come out of on-premise. So the solution still sits in on-premise. So the data sits completely within the bank itself.
I would like just to ask about the integration option for update the bank response back to CBB blocking system. How you will update the response there?
Yeah, so we have multiple ways of connectors that we have available. We have file uploads, we have direct API integrations that can update the status back. So we have status back applications available that can update the status from both sides, from bank side and from the CBB side, to make sure that everything is validated and confirm that yes, transaction or the block unblock has been processed successfully. So it can be done in multiple ways. We expect that if there's API integration, at some point you might actually get to an API integration where we can actually connect it directly to the system and update it. But at the point of, if it's a file process that is there, we can actually validate the file and check it and update it into the CBB system.
Just one question. So you mentioned that you'll standardize the file format in the beginning, right? So during this process, do you have access to the customer data?
Not at all. So we basically are standardizing the format based on the CBB's requirement that this will be the standard format coming from the central bank. The mapping that is done for the bank itself, the mapping from the other side, that what will be the standard format that is matching to that format in the bank. We have already connected to various different bank formats and the core banking systems. So that is the mapping that we do. The data itself, and we understand that, what type of data format that are there. For example, that, when a Kuwaiti ID comes in, we know that their ID is very different because they have a letter in it. They don't have a full number. So these are the things we already know how the mapping is going to place. So it's not necessarily that we need to have the data, but for test, we always use some data for testing, not for live.
Yes. So in production, you will not have, the data will be encrypted, as you said.
Yes,
So
data will be encrypted and will be kept within the bank itself. So we do not have access to any data from the bank.
And in transit as well. So during the, okay.
So in transit, we are doing only the production release there. So once the release is on premise, everything stays within the bank.
Okay, and the last thing is just to confirm that this system will not require any change on the CBB side.
Not at all. That we will cater for everything that the CBB provides. So if it's an Excel file that they are giving, it's a download of a specific format, XML format that they're giving, we will cater for that. And if at some point there's an API connectivity, we can do that as well. So all the availability are there.
Sure.
I have one final question from my end. Is there going to be any audit trail feature in place?
Yes, very good question. I missed that actually, but yes, there's a full audit trail of every transaction that is done. You can roll back transactions as well. So the audit trail can be looked at and it can show that what are the different steps that have been taken. So if there are any exceptions that are going in, we actually cater for the person who are involved and full audit trail of the steps that were taken at every point.
Thank you.
Thank you, An, for your time, and I'll leave some time for the judges to compile their scores. In the meantime, I would like to invite our next startup from NGN International, Bassam Youssef. Please, can you prepare yourself and share your screen until we can start?
Yes, thank you.
Are you ready, Bassam?
Yeah, ready?
Okay, you can start now.
Thank you. Yeah. Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum, Jamian. Okay, we are NGN. We are 100% Bahraini company, and we are already working with the tier 1 banks in Bahrain and providing services in security, networking, and business applications. Our answer for today's challenge is based on platform, RBA platform. This is obviously the right solution, as we can see. We selected, we have option to work with multiple platforms, but we have selected Blue Prism platform, and you can see why once we get to the solution. Again, this will replace what the human is doing in banks with robots that will mimic all the actions. So there is no changes on current systems, either from CBB side or even from bank side. This is totally zero coding. And we already have tested this with a local bank in Bahrain. And let me tell you that we were able to measure the performance of Blue Prism, and we found that each transaction in average is taking less than 7 seconds to be done. And this is definitely much faster than a human, and of course 100% accuracy with no errors. Now, just to give you the solution, the bots, we have common, let's say, processes, those related to CBB portal. So the bot will be monitoring CBB portal. And once there is requests or orders, this will be downloaded as per existing functionality in CBB portal. And this list of orders will be passed to another process within the bank that is related and very specific to the bank, because each bank has its own core system. Definitely they have own procedures to deal with this, how they will do blocking and unblocking of processing these orders. So this part of the process is related to each bank. Then once we have a response on orders, this will be passed again to the other process, third process, that will applying the response in CBB portal in same way that a human is doing right now. We don't need to change any of this. So it will open, search for the ID, and apply the response. So you can see this common. We can develop this once and share it with all banks. And then it is coming to that part of the process that is related to the bank. And a unique feature that we have here, because we expecting exceptions, even it's just than one person, but there is exceptions, and we need a human in the loop that will solve this and pass it again to the robot. So we have this concept from a Blue Prism that called the human in the loop, that will make it easy to communicate between robots and the human. Also, another feature or concept from Blue Prism that encourage us to propose it is we have what we call digital exchange. This is like App Store, and you can have your own private CBB, your own private digital exchange, where all processes like these two common ones will be available on the digital store and can be downloaded, utilized by other banks or institutes if they are allowed to do that. Based on this, we are suggesting to go with quick win phase 1. So we will keep these robots that is coming from, that is standard for all banks, and have a quick win that will save, especially this third process, that applying all actions on central bank portal, to give it to the robot. While developing let's say the automation for the internal process of the bank, we can pass this response to the robots in a list. The same list we get from CBB, we add the response and send it to the robot. We will be saving good amount of time. Maybe I believe it is about 30 to 40% of the total time, but this is available immediate, in no time, because we just deploy implement the platform and start with this. How the bot will interact with the human? We have a module in Blue Prism. This is very unique. We call Interact. This is digital forms that we can develop with the drag and drop and can be ready. And this will be the communication between the bot. The bot will assign a task to a human will find it in a task list and then reply on this list and send it back to the bot. So this is a suggestion for a quick one for a mass of banks. Why we are selecting Blue Prism over others? Because Blue Prism can be implemented in on-premise, private cloud. We don't believe in public clouds for such a solution because they have access to a core system of banks, but these all options are available. Very quick time to market. The engagement that we have with the current bank was done in a couple of weeks with very limited access because we're working on in a production environment, live environment, and we need to be, the bank need to monitor our team all the time. We handle all scenarios that is coming from CBB. We have integration with all.
Sorry, apologies, Bassam, I have to interrupt you, but your time is up. Sorry. Okay, I'll leave the floor for the judges to ask their questions. Please go ahead, judges.
مساء الخير بسام.
مساء الورد.
كيف الحال؟ عساك طيب.
الله يسلمك.
بس أخي الكريم, we would like to know what is your, what we call it, experience here in Bahrain, which, like banks you are dealing with, if it is available, and what type of services you provide and which is included, the blocking or not?
Yeah, actually, we did this blocking and unblocking exercise for one bank in Bahrain.
It is like a wholesale bank or retail bank?
Retail bank.
Okay.
Yeah. So
for how many years now?
No, it is as a BOC. Okay, but it was successful one, as I told you, and right now waiting for full engagement.
So did you start this project or not yet?
It is, as I told you, it is a BOC.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And what about, like your solution regarding, like working 24/7
Definitely.
and real time?
Yeah, bots are working 24/7 all the time with the DR setup if available in the bank. All these aspects, yes.
And dealing with the bank here in Bahrain, what is the challenge you face regarding like the implementation of the blocking or unblocking, or difficulties you face?
Well, one main difficulty, and this is you need guidance from the bank, is related to CR numbers of companies. It is not coming always in a standard way. So you need to solve this, and we worked in that, and it was solved.
What do you mean by CR?
Registration number of companies.
Okay. So what is the problem with that?
Yeah, it is not always in same format as in the bank system. So you need to work around that. because this is the key matching when you are going to fetch an account in core banking.
That's from my side. Thank you.
Bassam, thank you for the presentation. I have a quick question. You mentioned that there's going to be human interaction. There's going to be like a manual process within the whole solution.
No, actually, there will not be a manual process, but usually, if it's coming to real cases, there should be some exceptions that the bot cannot handle. So you need a proper solution that can handle even these cases when it is coming, even if it is less than 1%. So we already have a module in that will make it easy to communicate between a human and robots, not sending emails. No, it is a proper solution that the management can track.
Okay, and your solution is going to be based, or it's going to sit on the cloud?
Sorry, again?
Will the solution be based on the cloud?
No, not necessarily. It can be private cloud. We have all implementation modules, even on a premise. But usually it will be on a premise for the bank, but if they have their own private cloud, they can use it. But it's not a public cloud, no.
Thank you.
From my side, will you store any data in your solution, or?
No, usually for banks we are not storing data. We just processing data, and all this data is encrypted all the way. We have encryption credential managers because the bot need to have access to central bank portal and internal bank portals. We use data masking, okay. And by the way, Blue Prism was built for banks long time ago, and from day one, the security was the main issue. So we have continuous certification from Veracode, for BCI, etc. It is the more secure RBA in the market today.
And the second question now, after you're processing the file and uploading the response back to CBB system, do you have any reconciliation mechanism for the banks to make sure that they already reply to all the cases? Or
actually, this mechanism is already available in central bank, because you have a list of all orders in the portal, and the orders that you answered will disappear. So the orders that the bank did not respond to will stay there and will be again processed by the bot if it was not processed already.
Okay.
Definitely, we have built in monitoring and audit log for all actions, for all transactions. That is all already built in within the solution, and we don't need any extra license for this. This is already included within the core license of digital worker.
Just one brief question, because in your slides you mentioned phase 1, which involves human interaction. What is the next phase?
Yeah, actually, this is a suggestion. Actually, this is the full solution. That is, we get the bot will get the list from CBB, process it in internal bank system, get the response, and send it back to CBB.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the ones on the green are ready from day one, because this is common to all banks and related to CBB. The one in the middle is related to each bank. They need to automate their internal process. So instead of waiting, we are suggesting that we can go, we have a digital exchange for central bank, and we can already propose these two processes for the banks, about to get the list that handed to a human. Okay, human will work on that, prepare the response, and then pass it to the bot to apply it on CBB portal. because getting the response from internal system is something, and apply this response to CBB portal is something else. So this solution is already there, and it is ready, and we can start from day one. So there is no need to wait for every bank to automate the whole cycle. We can automate part of it and make it available. So this is only suggestion to speed up.
So you mean, yeah, this is day one, and then in the future you can do internal processes also?
Yeah, the bank, yes, for each bank, they will work on automating their own process and their own banking system, because this is not the same for every bank.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much, Bassam, for your time, and best of luck. I will leave the floor for the judges just to have some time to compile their scores. In the meantime, I would like to invite our last startup, which is R Square. Shantini Raja, go ahead, you can share your screen and start preparing yourself.
Am I audible, Maisa?
Yes, yes. Are you ready, Shantini?
Yeah, yes, Maisa. I'm ready.
Okay, you can start now.
Yeah, thank you everyone for giving the time. So myself, I'm the founder and CEO of R Square, Shantini. And R Square is a Bahrain-based fintech company, which is having a successful track record of working with regulated entities of BBB, CBB, and IGA for the past 11 years, with 19 innovative solutions and served around 300 clients. We are known for the in-house developed products. It's all, every product is our own product. And the problem, as we all know, the solution which we are going to give today is to completely automate the process of inaccuracies and to avoid the penalties. And it's going to be 24/7. It's going to save the time. It's going to be faster. And the process which we are going to go through is extraction first, reconciliation, blocking and unblocking in the core system, and finally updating to the CBB. So it's going to be without any human intervention. It will log in automatically, put the credentials, extract the data, do the blocking and unblocking in the core banking system, finally update it to the CBB. And we are suggesting 4 solutions. If CBB is coming up in future with API, we can consume that. And also, if the bank is going to give API, we can consume that. And the advantages are, apart from inquiry blocking, unblocking, and overblocking, if the mail is coming from CBB also, our tool is capable of scanning the email, finding out the CBB mail, and extracting the data, and then processing. It will be useful for the inheritance and deceased, because often mails are coming. And apart from that, this solution is already developed, tested, and implemented. This is one of the screen. So it's going to give you the audit trial and all the reports, how many files are coming, how many unblocked, and how many blocked, everything. So this will be useful for the instant reply for the customer inquiry related to blocking and inquiry, because this is also another pain area for the banking side. And it will give how much amount is on hold for the total analysis, email alert on job completion, and audit trial. And this will be helpful for the customer profiling and also risk analysis. And this product is also going to avoid complete mismatches, because 6 months we are working with the bank. We know how the files are coming from CBB. It will have sometimes the special characters, the slashes, which will not be available in the core system. So our system is already accurate, and it is also proved that it will avoid the complete mismatches. It will also access PDF, Excel, CSV, etc. We use RPA, machine learning, responsive web application, and cloud native. And also job security, we use AES 256 encryption. Along with that, proprietary algorithm of R Squares. This is our own original product deployed. It can be deployed in cloud environment. We don't use any third-party license, so data is secured. And R Square's USB is Bahrain-made product. It's made in Bahrain. This is our own original one. So the team is here in Bahrain for implementation, for customization, integration. Everything is going to be very easy, and it's a minimal viable product, scalable to other requirements. The bank in future for reconciliation, for eKYC, everything, the product will be useful. So not only in Bahrain, we can take this product to other regions also with the blessings of CBB, which is going to complement the economic vision of Bahrain 2030. And shukran to Bahrain and also to CBB for giving us this opportunity to present this Bahrain-made innovative fintech solution. Thank you.
Thank you, Shantini, for your, that was fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll leave the floor for the judges. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. It was so interesting. Just you mentioned that you have experience here in Bahrain, so I wonder, for how many years, which of institutions you are served, and which type of products you are provided to these institutions in Bahrain.
Okay, so we have provided, I will stop this screen. Yeah, we have provided solutions for banking side, investment banking, retail banking, insurance, and also
no,
for,
I mean, which type of product you or services you provide?
Okay, so we provided financial services like the products which will help them to, one example I can tell you, I don't want to mention it is confidentially, but whenever the international passengers are coming and swiping the card, automatically 2 receipts will be generated. Instead of 2, we made it 1 by giving the e-signature. So in airport, you can see all the e-signature software was provided by R Square. This is one of the fintech solution. And also we provide with the robotic process automation, like the CPR code automatically populating on the screen. This is also screen capping. We were the first one in Bahrain to launch the RPA, and also the chatbot. We were the first company in Bahrain, Bahrain-made product for artificial intelligence also. So these are the services we provide for insurance, banking, and also exchanges. They use our product.
And what about like issues related to blocking and unblocking? Do you have any experience in that?
Yeah, we have already implemented this in one of the retail bank in Bahrain. It is running successfully, especially now we know how the files are coming, like 200 files per slot it is coming. So in a day, it's around 600 files coming. Each and everything is having special characters. In CR, maybe slash will be there, but in the core system, instead of slash, it will be hyphen. So we know how it is mismatching, but exactly we find out. So we have the full experience on that.
And what is the difficulties you face?
Difficulties in the beginning, we had the file format, because every core banking system will have different file formats to do the reconciliation. But now we have made the tool to have all the file formats. It's capable of handling the PDF, CSV, Excel, whatever format we can handle it. That was the beginning challenge. Now we have overcome that.
And for how many years you are, like doing the such what we call services, or to provide the services?
Especially for blocking and blocking?
Yes, exactly.
We started 6 months, and 6 months it is working successfully.
Okay. And is there any challenge?
Challenges so far we didn't find anything, because in the beginning, as I said, only the format was changing, but now we have made it complying with that. So we can handle all the mismatches. Everything is handled now. There is no more challenges.
So here, what you did with this bank, what is the relationship between the system and the human intervention in this regard?
Okay, so whenever before the human intervention, they were handling everything manually. So now there is no human intervention.
What do you mean by manually?
Manually, they will extract the file, they will log into the CBB portal, they'll extract the file, they will take the core system, they will do the reconciliation, and then they have to go and do the blocking and unblocking in core banking, coming back to CBB portal, updating. This was the manual process, the complete process.
And now?
And now they need not do the extraction from the core system. They keep it in a folder, and our tool will automatically take the extract from the CBB And also from the core banking, it will do the reconciliation. It will give the matching and unmatching. So the blocking is automatically done immediately.
So in this case, if you receive like 200 requests, how long it will take to finalize it?
It is 5 minutes to 7 minutes maximum.
Okay. And did you experience, any request came after like 8 or 9 in the evening?
Sometimes we got that request, like not 7, 8, maybe 6:30, 7, something like that. So those are the times, but we are going to use the bot to do 24/7. So there will not be any delay in that. Every time it will go and check whether any file has come, and automatically it will do the complete process.
Okay, thank you from my side.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you very much, Antini. My quick question is, how are you going to validate the requests for the customers? And how fast can you do that?
Yeah, the request from the customer related to blocking and unblocking to the banks, you're saying? Okay, so the system is going to give a search screen. So in the search screen, when they put the CR number or CPR number, within a second, immediately it will come and say whether this a particular CR has already come from CBB to block it or unblock it. So maximum 1 to 2 seconds, they can respond to the client. So the client relationship is going to be very high.
Okay, you also mentioned you're going to be using AI technology. How is that going to be utilized in this solution?
Yeah, the machine learning we are going to use, because when the data is growing, we can even predict when more cases are coming, maybe in the March month or April month. So we can put accordingly the resources for, because the fund will be, how much fund will be put on hold in a bank during which time. All this predictive analysis can be done by using the machine learning. This is going to help the bank for the risk analysis and also customer profiling. In future, we will know the trend also with the machine learning when the data grows. When we get more, whether we get it on Sunday more cases or on the Thursday night more cases, all this predictive analysis, we can do it.
Okay, thank you very much, Antini. No more questions from me.
Thank you, Yasmin.
Regarding your solution, are you going to save anything in your application or?
Yeah, very good question, Mr. Abdulaziz. Everything is encrypted. We are going to save only the statistical count, like how many numbers are coming, how many blocking numbers, but the customer related data will be stored in the bank itself. We are not using any third party because this is our own solution. So no third party vendor will be able to see, only the bank will be able to see only their customers, not other customers. So for example, if one of the customer is blocked in their bank, that bank details will be stored, so that the inquiry, when it is coming, when they are putting in the search, they will be searching, it will say it is already cleared, unblocked. So they can say, no, it is already unblocked. Only the customer information of that particular bank will be stored. And also it is all completely encrypted.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, just to clarify, because you mentioned cloud native. So is the solution on the premises or is it on the cloud?
No, definitely not on the cloud, because we respect the regulators' needs. So it is only on premises, and since it is our own product, this is going to be only, even we will not get the access, only the banking will get the access, the database, everything is going to be on premises, no access to anyone outside.
Yeah, which means you are not going to manage the solution. It's the bank who will do everything. Yes. So any changes to the system they need to do, if there are any updates needed because let's say the format has changed, how will that work?
Yeah, our turnaround time is going to be very, very less because the team is here and it is our own code. So within 2 days time, whatever may be the requirement, we will be immediately able to do it. And we are known for that in the market also. So 11 years in the market, we have done the turnaround time very high.
Thank you.
I'd like to start by thanking all the participants who have taken part of this competition. To be honest, it has been a very tough call for us to make today. Each and every one of you has provided a unique solution. You've worked hard to try and meet the requirements that have been posed by the Central Bank of Bahrain. But naturally, this is a challenge, so we are restricted to choosing just one winner. I think I'm gonna go ahead without further ado to announce our winner. But before saying so, I just like to say that, you know, just by being part of the top 5 finalists, that's a great, you know, that's a great step for you. And you should consider yourselves all like, you know, winners in your own capacities. So the winner for the CBB's first RegTech challenge, which is to solve the issue that our financial institutions are facing today, which is to automatically meet and process the blocking and unblocking requests coming from the courts in Bahrain is, and can we have some virtual drum rolls here? It's R-Square.
I don't know if you're hearing the buzz. I'm trying to make something.
Congratulations to R-Square.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks to all of you. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Abdulaziz, Mr. Nabil, and Yasmin. Thank you. Thank you, all the participants, and congratulations to all of you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
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 Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your time. And best
Thank
of
you
luck
so
for
much.
everyone else. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.